5.8 digs per set this year for the Jaguars. Sends it to the back row.
It's set up for a deep court shot, just dropping it over Riley Rader's head.
Eaton sends it over to the side, a little balled over. The give to the left side.
Where they're going to try and look for an opportunity to get a swing where they can get a kill. Again, there you have Anna DeBeer saying, hey, I'll take a roll shot there.
Said a lot about DeBeer and Ryder, Kathy, but Savannah Neal, another big-time player for Assumption.
Yeah, she's a absolutely Division I kid headed out to Air Force. You know, is going to get a chance to play at the next level. And, yeah, she adds a nice comp.
First kill of the match. Now tied back up at 5 apiece. Eaton lays it into the back line for Assumption. Now Mercy tries to rocket it back.
So showing, hey, block me cross court if you want.
That goes past Walker on the left side. Assumption finds it down the line. Neal, good dig out of the back row by Just for Mercy. Eaton, the kick, and Walker.
Gonna let Ann do the up and down part.
Certainly not a bad assistant coach in Ann Cordes to rely. The joust goes to Assumption, and a great rally now building up here in the state final. Carpenter. Assumption trying to find their rhythm. They go from Mercy. DeBeer keeps it alive in the back row. Tested early. It's not going to be that. Pushed over to the left and belt the score and performance of this Jaguar team. DeBeer trying to change the... Eaton finds over to DeBeer. That time by Rutledge for Mercy to stay in play. DeBeer.
She's got to put at least 2 and potentially 3 blockers on that, or that will be a taking candy kind of a swing for her.
In the middle, easy drop off.
This isn't one of, I mean, Carpenter's in the back row, and so this isn't one of their stronger attacking rotations. Very much the tallest player on the court, but you're talking 5'11s against 6' and 6'1" players, so it does make a difference. Mercy not being able to get out of their own way in terms of hitting balls out of bounds, hitting balls into the net. You've got to keep the ball in play and still stress with Rechtenwald and Lanham on the outside to try and find where they can get a kill out of this rotation.
Eaton staying on service. Ashley Eaton quietly, a huge star for this Assumption team, leading the way in assists. A big night last night in the 3-0 victory versus Notre Dame. Keep the train rolling.
10 attack attempts, and not been able to get a kill. That's why we're sitting right here with Assumption closing their advantage at this Assumption block.
Need to find a way to get the ball to her more, Kathy. The 16 kills yesterday in that win, along with 3 assisted blocks. Hitting .682, Jamison Summers did in the match. Oh,
do it. And again, a pass that's back row for Mercy, so this is a place where they have a chance. But then again,
follow up the ace. Mercy over to Carpenter. Now Eaton on the feed. Thump back. Swung over to the right side.
To get it to Rader here, it's going to be on DeBeer and Walker here. He's going to look at all of his options, but if he's got his best players on the court right now, that means he probably doesn't have a kid on the bench that's better than the kids on the court. And so what they have to do is they have to take, just talked about passing and staying calm and playing their game to DeBeer, and so get your points when you can.
Eaton kicks it over to Rader, splits it through. KHSAA State Championship final. Set 1 to
going to his bench, taking Lanham out, bringing in Sydney Schaefer, who mostly plays defensive specialists the last couple of days, are not going down. There's an example right there. I mean, anybody else at Mercy
today, a different crew. See how that plays out for the coaching staffs at Assumption and Mercy. Mercy not going away. DeBeer pounces that ball into the upper deck. Middle for Assumption on that attack as Eaton.
Situation. Trying to go to Rader on the outside way where he couldn't give her advice.
I think it's probably hard enough to do during the heat of the game. Enough it is for Abe Cordes. A ton of coaching experience in her area. Former U of L coach, star there, and also an Assumption legend, following up her father Ron, who's been at the helm for decades. DeBeer in position as Eaton lays it over to DeBeer on the left side.
Of the libero, so she's in the back row. Have been difficult ones for Mercy to get scores in.
Eaton. Now over to DeBeer again. Mercy. Eaton flips it back. Rader has it sent straight to her, and Walker takes
back to the back row. So good news for Mercy. Or goes back to the front row. Goes to the front row.
7 here in this set. Double digits back in the first. Jousting at the net. Still up. Rader squeaks it in, and what a play by Riley Rader. The legend of Kentucky High School volleyball and play into victory.
What's the hitting percentage of the teams that you play against? And likely no surprise is the number 1 and 2 teams here in the state championship have the highest hitting percentage themselves and have the lowest hitting percentage of their opponent. So we've seen it here, other than the tables have been turned on this Mercy team where they've hit under 100 in both of the first 2 sets.
Nice block, a great rally between these two teams. Carpenter runs into it. Wessling pulls it back for Walker. Carpenter up high, out of back. Assumption. That was really the one you'd love to have if you're Mercy. A great rally.
And again, we're seeing Walker just take what she gets. I mean, Walker's job here right now is don't make mistakes, put up a solid block, keep the ball in play, and she's delivering on what her assignment is. Ron Cordes right now taking her out to the back row, but telling her, here's what I need from you.
Eaton finds it over to Wessling. A little bit off touch here, but DeBeer powers it over. Now back to Carpenter, splits the double team. Starr goes back and forth. DeBeer one side, back the other to Carpenter. Eaton gets the squib across.
As he can, because once Assumption gets away from you, just to help them be quieted, help them get together, look at each.
Skipped over at the net for Assumption. DeBeer take. Eaton finds it. Eaton finds her way over to DeBeer, feeding the
brain that hobbled her, but certainly nothing holding her back right now.
Well, the difficulty, Kathy, is when you have that much power, it can sometimes come back to haunt you because you can hurt yourself.
Looking at Tommy John surgery, so certainly need to be careful with an arm like hers.
Just gets it over. DeBeer back again to the left side. Mercy back within 7. DeBeer the air on service. Now to the left side. Walker gets her chance. Pass by to Eaton. Now down the row. Rejected away, but still kept alive by Assumption. Carpenter takes the speed.
What the call was, whether it was a net call or double hit.
Well, it's early on they gave them the point. And they're saying double hit is what the call is. Assumption. DeBeer into the net.
From scoring, no small task. This is a place where Mercy can score points.
Back to DeBeer. Carpenter to serve. Now 17-11 match here in the third set. Assumption 8 points away from a win. Ricocheting into the net underneath the floor by Mercy. That's Elena Scott who had the sliding dig. DeBeer up.
Chances, and she obviously didn't give him a second chance.
Eaton on the day. Another big performance out of her with 27 assists. And the beat keeps on for Assumption.
Olivia Recton-Wall here, struggling to get a kill. This is a rotation that's been a difficult one for this Mercy team. Carpenter in the back row, Setter in the front row, only 2 hitters.
Up through the middle, dug up from O'Toole. Just lays it low over to the side. DeBeer has to keep it in play. Funneled up to the middle, 2-hand touch. Brought to you by Summers. Trying to make it 3 state championships in a row for the Rockets. DeBeer wanting more late in this 3rd set. Skipped over to Wessling. A little misconjunction on the attack for Assumption. Down the row we go for Mercy. Powered over. Lanham plays it over. 21-17. DeBeer will have the dig out of the back line. Eaton kicks it over. Neal takes the pace off. Sweet slide by Scott to keep it in play. Now DeBeer up high. One-handed dig goes out. Skip to the left side. There's Rader. Nice 2-hand touch pass from Scott. She'll have it once again to Holloway. Eaton reaching out for that stop. Skips it over. Fuller will send it across. 1 point away from a 3rd straight title. Out of bounds, and that will do it. Assumption with the 3-peat.